What's going on, guys and girls? Today we're at the National Motorcycle Museum outside of Birmingham, England. Let's go check it out. Right inside the lobby, they got some cool stuff. Nice little Yami two-stroke. Crusty BSA. These bikes are all going to get auctioned off for sale. These machines will be featured in the next H&H auction here at the National Motorcycle Museum. I like the nice little BSA there. Pretty sweet. Douglas. There's the Norton Land Speed Record. Norton Triumph. No info. Oh, yeah, there is. No. Because that info is for this. I don't see any info on the orange one. Alright, let's go inside. See what they got. Let's see what else they got in the lobby here. Got a another Triumph Land Speed Record, 145 miles an hour. I guess that's fast for single engine Triumph. More Land Speed bikes. There's a turbine. I don't think I'd want to ride that. Nice Francis Burnett. Look at that beauty. That's the one that has the expansion chamber in the front of the engine. Pretty cool. AJS. Alright, let's go inside. Check it out. Okay, we made it in. Well, so it wasn't easy though. It's kind of a shit show here, because they put you into a cafe and then they want to buy a ticket at the gift shop, and then they say our systems are down, you can't buy a ticket. I just flew all the way here from the United States, and they said, well, you can let you have cash only. Well, anyway, I'm in 1902 Century Foreman. Pretty cool. Imagine sitting up there cruising down the road. I don't think I'd like that. There's another one like that too. I think they were for handicapped people. These, I think that's what they made these for. Handicapped people. I'm not going to go through every bike here, so sorry. You'll just have to take a peek. There's a Carry, unusual brand. They'll kick you out for that. LMC. These are all the early New Imperial, Pick, Premier, Royal Enfield, Wenlock. I don't see too many of those. The Sun. 1913, The Sun. What we got here? Williamson Flat Twin, 1000cc liquid cooled. That's pretty cool. Premier, the Quadrant. I like how they put the in front of every name. The Quadrant instead of just Quadrant. Rover. What that is? Coming up 283. Never seen one before. You always see something you've never seen before, because they've made thousands of brands of motorcycles. Another Rover V-twin. Monarch. See those a lot. Scooter motor. Nope, Mobile Pup. I dig these ones with the front engine like right up there. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go to the next room. Oh, there's a Wooler. We just seen that Wooler at Sammy Miller's. That's a really cool bike. Alright, let's go to the next room. Okay, back at the National Motorcycle Museum in Birmingham, England. 21 Reynolds runabout. Pretty unusual. Under-seat engine. It's pretty cool. I'd take it. I'd take that Raleigh though. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm not going to go through all the bikes here because there's literally 1,000 bikes here. So they're kind of jammed in here though. You can't really get a peek at much because they're really jammed in. Look at that chain to a cable to another chain. Is that what's going on there? Yeah. For the gear selector. Chain, cable, chain. It's pretty crazy. P&M Model A. 555 cubic inches. Radco. Another P&P. Silent 3. Keeping quiet. That's what it says. Little baby Wolf. 150cc. Oh, look at that. Spring frame. 1922 spring frame. Pretty bike. 1922. SIRRAH. Never heard of it. Never heard of most of these. Ivy Popular. Heard the name, never seen one. I said they made so many bikes. There's a 650 Quadrant. These are pretty cool bikes. Yeah. Another Raleigh. Raleighs are nice bikes. Scott's Super Squirrel. Cool bike. Rex. Rex made good stuff. They tried to bring him back in the 60s, but it didn't fly. Because they cheaped out. They used some other brand and just put the name on it, and it don't work. There's an AJW twin. 1,000 cc's. Zenith. New mount. I never seen this Scott. 293 Scott Squirrel. Look at that expansion chamber down there. Pretty crazy. 30 Triumph. Another Scott. Scott made a lot of bikes. Another Raleigh. Some people say Raleigh. I say Raleigh. Reynolds. They totally copied Scott's. I think it was Scott. They just used a different name because that's all Scott. I know Scott's pretty good at Scott for Concierge, Scott Fortunes, One After the Dream of Company. Yeah, it's the same bike. They just put a different name on it for richer people. James made good bikes too, man. 500 V-twin. They're good bikes. There's an English Panther, one of my favorite bikes with the way that engine sloped so far forward, man. It's so cool. Definitely cool. Another Panther. New Hudson. You don't see too many of those. We saw one of these yesterday at Sammy Miller's, SOS. I never heard of them before that. Was it high quality product? Super on slow special. Huh. They did do a little racing, but weren't successful. There you go, Villasette. Villasette was TT winner. 1928-29. Stevens. They got them so close together you can't really see much, man. They're like right on top of each other. Douglas Endeavor, much better than the smaller 350. This bike's actually rideable, or the other one's so slow you can't really ride it. Not on modern day roads, maybe back in the day, not today. 250 SOS. Another Scott Flying Squirrel. Really pretty bikes. The new Imperial. Quality built bike. 500 single cylinder. Bear to kick though. Okay, let's go back to this row. And then we're going to go into the center. There's a lot to see here, man. Raleigh Runabout. 250 Dot Demon. Never seen it before. It looks pretty fun. I like the looks of it with the square tube frame. Another Panther. Greaves. Builder's engine. They're kind of very common in the States. The Birmingham Scott Flying Squirrel. Douglas Dragonfly 350. It's really cool looking, but man, I rode one. It is so slow. I don't think you could ride it on today's roads. You would get run over, man. I mean, it's really slow. I don't know if you could do something to make them faster, but they are so slow. BSA. Set. Tandon. IMP Supreme. New one on me. Never heard of it. Really pretty BSA there. Ooh, there's another Wooler. These Woolers are cool, man. I dig them. I think they're cool looking. 500 Wooler. Crazy looking tank. Goes past the handlebars. Pretty crazy. Francis Burnett. Another English Panther. You don't find these English Panthers in the States, man. They're hard to come by. Royal Enfield, 1951. 500 Twin. Good bike right there. All right, let's get into the center section. Then we go into another room. HRD. Pretty nice. Vincent. It's pretty nice. Another Vincent HRD. This one's a Series A. Series A Comet. This is Series A HRD Racing Team. Sorry, they got them so packed in here, you can't get in between them or nothing. So, this one says this is a TT replica. So, this is the one everyone wants, the Black Shadow. This is the big money one. They got a lot of Vincents though. Another a Black Lightning.
I knew that hour would fly by. It always does. There's never enough time. So everybody come on through, and I'll just tell you what you've got in here.
Vincent. Gray Flash. Didn't know they made a Gray Flash. This one is Comet Series C. We got one missing. Vincent Rapide. These are the cheaper ones. They did make a single, but you don't see too many of them. There's a Black Prince. It's funny because it was like their holy grail. Sorry about my finger in there. But they didn't sell for crap. No one wanted them. It's probably the most they put in the bike. body-wise, but no one wanted them. I think they're kind of cool. I'd take one. Sunbeam. Another sunbeam, another sunbeam, another sunbeam. But we got a big group that just came in here, so we're going to try to skirt them and go around them. And maybe I'll come back and catch these sunbeams. Because big group of old British guys. I'm going to try to squeeze behind them.
So make your way round.
Dignitaries. They all got a lot of badges on. Medals. Reynolds Runabout. Oh, we saw this when we came in. Okay, let's move on. BSA police bike. Yep, police bike. Here's all the military stuff. With machine guns on it. 500 Triumph. It's a twin though. Oh no. Wait a minute. 750 twin. That's the 500. Wicker baskets. Wicker sidecars were big back in the day, man. 1939, 650. Big 4. $350 Ariel. Bill of set. $350 Triumph. BSA rep replacement. It's too nice to be a military bike. Ooh, look at this. This is cool. I dig this freaky shit like this, man. 1910 676 cc. Why are they calling these CCs? Tax Series 3 Wilkinson. How cool is that, man? I dig it. I dig the weird shit. Rough Superior. Model 1000 Golden Dream. You ain't gonna find another one of those too easily. The Golden Dream was the rare one. There's the 1000 Rough Superior. One of the prettiest bikes I think ever made, my opinion. The Austin Engineered 4 Rough Superior. Liquid cooled 4-cylinder. Pretty rare too. You barely ever see one come up for sale. And if you do, it's just, look at the size of that battery. Let me turn my light on. Can you guys see that battery back there? It's a big battery, but it is a 4-cylinder car engine pretty much. But yeah, this one right here, these models I think are some of the prettiest bikes ever made. Just a pretty bike. Alright, we're going to go to the center now. So let's move on. Okay, at the Birmingham National Motorcycle Museum. Let's check out some more modern stuff. And we're going to recap on some stuff I already showed you. Norton 76 838 prototype. I don't think I've ever seen it. Parallel twin 838 called the Norton 76. One thing I want to recap on, that Rough Superior 4-cylinder, I didn't realize it has dual rear wheels. I don't know how that would handle. And it's shaft drive to both wheels. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. This thing's just so pretty, man. It really is a pretty bike. Like, just, that's total artwork right there. All right, let's get back to the modern stuff. 900 Norton Commando triple. Never seen one. Didn't even know they made it. 75 and 76. Trying to keep up with the Triumph Tridents, I guess. And what this is, a Norton Euro, but that's an Italian engine. That must be when they were going broke. They were trying to throw something at the wall to try to save them. because that's a Morelli engine. Norton Rotary Racer, NVR 588, 600cc, well, 588cc. The Creighton 700, Norton. No, it's not a Norton. It's a Creighton. These were built by Brian Creighton, 2013. Thought they had Norton engines in them, but it's not saying it does. I'm just speed reading real quick, so bear with me. No, doesn't say nothing about Norton. The Norton Nemesis V8 never happened. A lot of people tried the V8. Didn't happen. But now we tried it way back in the 60s. Didn't happen. 1975 500cc prototype. I wonder why they didn't put that out. Looks like a normal old bike. That exhaust sticking way out of there. That side's not. That side's tucked in. This side's way out. It's kind of weird. I like this. BSA Fury. That looks pretty cool to me. Wonder why they didn't make that. And the famous Vetter X75, one of my favorites of the British Triumph PSAs. Eddie did Vetter, made some cool stuff. Ariel 700 4-cylinder. I never knew Ariel made a 4-cylinder. I've had arrows and leaders and golden arrows, but I never know they made. Oh, wait a minute, they didn't. Did they? Is this a 4-cylinder? Yeah, it is too. It's a 4-cylinder, man. Huh. Didn't know they made one. 1962. They have these bikes so packed in, it's really hard to shoot, so bear with me because I can't show crap because they have them literally touching, which is stupid, but I guess they have so many bikes they had to. The famous Ariel Square 4, famous for overheating until the very last year, 1959. They came out with an aluminum head and it stopped the overheating problem. What we got here? Wolf 2. 1980 Wolf 2 500 stepped piston twin. What do they mean by stepped piston? Can't really see the engine too much, so I'm not really sure. Oh, maybe back here. It's liquid cooled. Don't know what they mean by stepped piston. Have to do some homework on that. This one's pretty good looking. 1975 Wolf 500cc stepped piston. That's pretty good looking, man. I dig that. I like this bike. That's a sharp looking bike. Triumph 4-cylinder. You don't see too many of that. 1000cc 4-cylinder. It's good looking too. Triumph Bonneville. That's the Bandit I was talking about earlier. I think that's pretty good looking too. Oh no, this is the one I was talking about, the 350. It's pretty good looking. Cool for around town. 750 Triumph prototype. Crazy looking engine. I've never seen it before like that. That's because it's a prototype. And there is the 4-cylinder Scots. 3-cylinder, 1000cc. I think it's one of my all-time favorite bikes. Hands down. Like, if you could say you can have any bike you want, I think this would be in my top 3. I really do. It's just so crazy. It's just such a crazy, sorry about my finger. It's just so crazy, man. And I like crazy. Yeah, this bike's really cool. It's a really cool bike. Be in my top picks. Norton 800. It's pretty really clean design. All right, we're gonna move on to the next big room. I'll show you some stuff right behind me real quick. So there's just a short line of stuff behind me. Norton Pegasus top fuel drag bike. Royal Enfield 1500cc Don Sligler. Yeah, Sligger. Don't know who he is, but, and I got sun coming right in on me, so bear with me. Supercharged 1700cc. I'd like to run the drag bike down a strip one time in my life. I've never done it. I wouldn't mind doing it once. No one wants to lend me their drag bike though. I don't understand why. Ascot Pullen. Pretty rare bike. Arno TT model. 250 Ambassador. What are these? Advanced. Huh. Abingdon. Really pretty bike. Once again, can't really get in there because they got them on top of each other, man. A little Ariel. Ariel leader. They're crazy bikes all enclosed. Another Cyclone. Ariel Cyclone. Square 4. 59, that was the best year. It was the ugliest year because they chinched out on a lot of stuff like the gauge complex and all, but the engines were the best one because they had that alloy head. This is one of the most underrated bikes, 250 Ariel, Golden Arrow. This thing's fast, man. I'm telling you, these are fast bikes. They made GP, people took them and made GP bikes out of them. They raced them, man. They don't look like anything, but they're fast. They're 252 stroke and they're fast. A lot of Ariels. 56 Ariel. 55 Ariel. Another Square 4. See, they were better looking in the early days. A little more fancy. I'll show you. They might not have one here. They have one that's real fancy. That's a real nice instrument cluster in the tank. I don't see one here, actually. I see another model that has the see what the instrument cluster in the tank, which is much classier looking. There's another one. I believe they made a Square 4 like that, but I don't see one here. This place is big, so we're gonna be here a while. So keep patient. We're gonna go into the next room. It's one of the military bikes that they dropped out of airplanes. So this was closed container, parachute. It would land, the soldier would grab it, open the container, flip up the handlebars, and off he went. Quick getaway. Well, not that quick, but getaway. All right, let's see what we got over here. Okay, this is Badge and Armstrong. Now, I know this bike as an MZ because Rotax and MZ merged in, well, let me take that back. They didn't merge, but MZ came back out in about 87, which this is an 87, and used Rotax engines. And they made a bike that looks just like this called the Country. And to me, it looks like the same bike, rebadged. But I could be wrong. But I know for sure that MZ made this bike with this engine in 1987. And they're good bikes. They made 3 of them. The Country, the Damn, I can't think what the other three were called. They made three of them, three models. You got stuff all just thrown. Nothing makes sense in this place, but that's okay. We'll keep going. 1925 AJS V-twin model E1 800 V-twin. And once again, they're on top of each other, so I can't get in there really show you details. This I like. This is a let me see. This is a 500 AJS transverse V-twin. I dig it. I like transverse V-twins. I think they're cool looking. 1938 500 high pipe. What do we got here? 990 V-twin. Pretty good looking. AJS 500. AGS 350, dumping some oil. That's a lot of oil looking under that one. You know, it's funny because it's just the way it is, man. Most British bikes leak oil. You can make them not leak, except for when they sit. When they sit, they're going to leak. AJS, I've never seen this bike either. I've never seen this model. AJS 31 CSR range topping twin. The Ariel. See, back then they put the in front of everything. The Ariel. And then they dropped the. 1904. Pretty early, man. 1921. Crazy looking engine there. Ariel made a lot of cool stuff. Very underrated brand. They're a very underrated brand. 31 Ariel SG. Nice slope on that engine. It sloped really far forward, man. That cylinder wasn't overheating. What we got here? Is this 32 600 square 4? Is this the first square 4? Yeah, it is. This is the first square 4. It looks so small. But see how it has the instrument cluster in there. This is when they were classy. Here's another one. Square 4, 1949 with the instrument cluster in the tank. Then they got cheap and stopped doing that. And they just put an amp gauge in the headlight and a speedo in front. But these bikes had problems with overheating. The rear cylinders would overheat. Till the last years they made them. And then they kind of figured it out. All right, guys, let's go into the next room. All right, into the next room at the National Motorcycle Museum in Birmingham, England. It's a big place, man. There's a lot here. But it's hard to shoot because they have them on top of each other. I mean, they're on top of each other. So you have to bear with me. And I don't want to hear any complaints that I'm a bad videographer. Because I get them all the time, believe it or not. I'm just some guy with a phone, man, sharing my adventures with you. That's it. I'm not a videographer. I do this just for fun, and I share it with you guys. So, for the people who are like, you suck at camera work, I'm not trying to be a good cameraman. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys. So it looks like this is all early BSA, 1920, 1912. TT racing model, 1912. Pretty cool. Pretty bikes. I love nickel plating, man. You can tell the difference between nickel plating. See how it has like the yellow tint to it, and chrome plating. Like, think those bars are chrome plated, which they shouldn't be. They should be nickel plated. What do we got here? Gold Star Model 496 to 500. That's a good looking engine, man. I dig that. I like that a lot. The low pipe, like a big header pipe too, man. It's massive. Silver Star. They called these bikes they called these bikes, I think this is one of the bikes that they call the lighthouses, because they had that metal going up and they had a sight glass at the top. I don't know if this one doesn't seem to have a sight glass. It looks like it's plated off, but some of them had a sight glass up there. They were called lighthouse bikes. BSA Bantam, BSA Gold Star 350. There's a Super Flash, really nice bike. What sidecar? You really got him packed in here, man. Really got him packed in here. Proud of their BSAs, man. There's a BSA Rocket. I always liked this one right here. Hornet. Hornet was simple. Came without a headlight, because it was for race only, and no taillight. Because this was a factory race bike. Well, you could buy it from the dealership, but it came with no lights. They were optional. Because this is when racing was getting popular, especially flat track racing. This is the exact bike sitting down on Sport Wheels. You can go buy it tomorrow. Firebird Scrambler. Actually, there's a Hornet sitting at Sport Wheels too, but it's not at Sport Wheels. Danny took it home. It used to be mine, and it's a nice bike too. Like, really nice bike. There's another one of my favorites, Rocket 3. Can't see it, but it's got the Stingray 3-tip exhaust on it. But you can't see it because they got this place so packed in here. There's another Rocket 3, 1971. Diamond, 1924 Diamond, 1923 Dot Bradshaw, new one for me. No fins on the cylinder. Now it stayed cool. Douglas made some good stuff too. Douglas lady model. You watched my video yesterday of all the lady models at Sammy Miller's. They actually made motorcycles just for ladies. Kind of cool. It's a crazy Douglas model K32. I don't know what's going on there. It's a tiny little cylinder though. Douglas Bantam. Here's the 350, 90 plus. Really good looking bike though. But Douglas makes all their bikes were just slow, man. I've ridden a couple of them. They're cool. Don't get me wrong. They're really cool, but they're really slow. I guess back in the day they were fine for country roads, but you couldn't ride them on modern day roads. And once again, none of these bikes have air cleaners. They didn't have air cleaners back then. You just sucked in dirt. I have a bike with no air cleaner, and everyone bitches at me about it. I'm like, no bike had air cleaners, man. Wow, what is this? EMC 350. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but that is one crazy engine, man. I'm trying to speed read. 350cc double single two-stroke engine. Double single two-stroke. I'm confused. Double single two-stroke. Someone explain. Don't know what that is. Double single two-stroke. 1902 Excelsior. Look how forward that engine is, man. Way up there. I love this old stuff. I do. I'm sorry. I just drawn to this kind of engineering. Like a liquid cooled 1937. Oh, sorry about the finger in there. I keep doing that. 1933 Excelsior 250 V8. No, it can't be. No, that's this bike. This is an 1100. 1100 V twin. Not V8, sorry. I'm tired, man. I've been up for a couple days, so I'm kind of delirious. Another Excelsior. Man, Manxman, 1937. Little baby Excelsior. Talisman Twin Sport, 250cc. 1907 Ferry. Opposite twin cylinder. Look at that engine. One going each way. I don't think anyone would buy it today, named the Ferry. Francis Burnett. Francis Burnett made a lot of good stuff. I might have to make this a two-part video because there's a whole nother room. So, and we haven't even gotten into all this. So, another Francis Burnett. All enclosed Cruiser 84. It's pretty cool. Grindley Sporting. Never seen it, never heard of it, but I like it. Hawker. A lot of bikes, man. This is someone that took Ariel Square 4s and made their own bike out of it. Healy. After the demise of the Ariel company, Tim and George Haley tried to get it back up and running. Did not work. Hesketh V1000. I remember these came out. They were expensive, man. See if it has a price on here. I doubt it does, but they were really expensive, man. They only did 120. I'm trying to speed read. They made 140 machines before they quit and moved on. Not a bad looking bike though. This is another one. What's up with this? Indian Bill set. Huh. New to me. Never seen one. I like it though. Look at all these brands, man. Imperial, Hobart, Hodgkinson, Humber. This is cool though. I dig that. Humber. There's a lot of them. I don't think I've ever seen one. Seen plenty of Hobarts. Seen Ivies. I've seen this bike too, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Ixion. But I see them all the time. They made some strange machines. James, we all know. James. These are all James. Okay, we are going to go into the modern room. So, hold on to your horses. Hey, we're in the last and final room. But it's a lot, man. It's a lot of stuff in here. We're going to start. Oh no. Wait a minute, I was wrong. There's another whole room over there. Oh my God. I really like these. These are Silks. So I don't know if you know about Silk. He tried to buy Scott's, and Scott wouldn't sell it to him, so he made his own. And he designed the engine pretty close to Scott. Not close enough to get sued, but pretty close. And liquid cooled twin. This one's a 700. Fantastic bike. Really nice bikes, man. They really are. I wouldn't mind having one if I could find one. Anyone has one in the States, hit me up, man. I wouldn't mind having one. This place, they have the bikes so tight, it's hard for me to shoot, so be easy on me. Okay, here's something cool. So, ladies model Royal Enfield, 1924. Actually called ladies model, right there, ladies model. And then the man's model. Or no, this one's the man's model, same year. So that would be the man's, this is the woman's model. They did that a lot back then. But I think they did it backwards. I think this should have been the ladies' model. And that should have been the man's model. Because the bar gets in my way, man. My opinion. Royal Enfield. See, once again, the Royal Enfield. They used the a lot back then. Rickman Laverda. Nope, 750 Interceptor. These bikes were commanding a lot of money, but they're not now. I don't know why. They've dropped. Look at this monster. That is a monster. 2300 Rocket 3. Massive bike. TT 600. Triumph Tiger 900. Triumph Speed Triple. I don't know why. I don't. This era of Triumphs is not for me. There's a couple of them I liked. They made that James Bond edition. That was kind of cool. This is cool. TSX, you don't see them too often. I like the paint scheme on those, and they were good engines too. 1981. But in the 80s, Triumph was dying, man. Dying. Nice Avon front tire, though. Speedmaster. Just that tire's worth good money today. There's the Legend Triple. 1975. They were throwing everything at the wall in those years trying to stay relevant because the Japanese were destroying them. A lot of Triumphs were made, man. I actually preferred Triumph over any other British brand when they were made in the UK. I don't know. Everyone I ever had was good. I know people badmouth them, but everyone I ever had were really good bikes. I have a little 500 trophy now. It starts every day, man. Not going to go through every bike because we'll be here for the rest of our lives. But yeah, this is a big museum. But they have a lot of the same bikes. And they're so tight in here. I liked Sammy Miller's better. Hate to say it, but it was more personable and more hospitality. There's no one here to tell you nothing. No one even in here to ask a question. All right, let's see. Look at some of these Norton Rotary 600. There it is. That thing's so cool. Very cool looking engine. They were a good looking bike, man. Police bike. Race bike. These are all Nortons. Norton. I can't believe there's another room, man. Another room? My arm hurts from holding this phone. I hope you guys appreciate it. See, I dig this kind of stuff. With the engine right there, it's cool. It just is, man. It's cool. Really neat. Especially when they went to no pedals, which I don't see any. Like this one. This one has no pedals. That's pretty cool, man. Some of them don't have any oil. This one's not leaking. These are flat top tanks. They're pretty cool. 27. 500cc Model 18. I like when the tank's under the frame like that. And they went to over the frame. Let's take a peek what's in this next room. Zenith. Wow, this place is very large. Side hack Norton. AJS. Look at that. That's fantastic right there. I wish we could get closer to that. Look at that. That's a crown jewel right there. Crown jewel right there, man. Wish I could get closer to it, but I can't. 1929 1000cc. It's a sweetheart. That's a crazy tank. Triple knocker. Is it a triple? 350 can't be a triple. No, it's just the twin. Wonder why they call it the triple knocker. See what it says anything. Here's including stiffening up bottom half of the engine. Rear suspension. Three valve head. That's why. That's where the name comes, 3-valve head. That's why it's called the triple knocker. Ariel supercharged, 33. In the 30s, man, everyone was supercharging everything. Between 30 and 37, supercharging was big, man. Every brand was supercharging everything. And I think that someone said because BMWs. So remember earlier I was talking about the Ariel, the 250 twin, really fast little bike for street bike. This is one that was raced, GP raced. Because they were really fast bikes, man, for a 250. So you stripped all the bodywork off, you put it in 250 class, they would win. Underrated bike. And we got back there, BSA MC1. No info on it at all. Nothing. Hate when places don't give you nothing, and there's no one here to ask anything. So I've seen that bike before, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it. I believe there was one at Sammy Miller's, but maybe I talk about it in that video. All these will be on my YouTube channel, so I can't post them until I get home, which will be about 2 weeks. It's nice. Trackmaster. Flat tracker. It's pretty nice. Rocket 3. Road race bike. I don't know what that is. Someone's art creation. Oh, look at this. 1927 cotton. This is cool. That is really cool. 440 cc's. They come up with some weird cc's back then, man. Look at that thing. That's pretty cool. I dig the square tank. I dig everything about these air bikes, man. I really do. Especially this there. The late 20s. DMW, Typhoon, another DMW, Hornet. A lot of people use that name Hornet, man. DMW. There's a lot of race bikes. A lot of race bikes. Looks like these are all Douglas. Excelsior. Excelsior Speedway bike. Pretty early Speedway bike, 1949. Francis Burnett, Greaves. I can't look at Greaves anymore. I sold the nicest one, this one. I had this bike, but in blue, and I sold it to Denny. I wish I didn't. I regret it. I want it back. Hear that, Denny? Pearless. That's nice, all nickel plated. That nickel plating, I love nickel plating. Looks so much richer than chrome. Here's a James Commando, 1963. Kind of looks like some of the Hungarian bikes. What do we got here? LCH Racer. There's a big matchless 500. Matchless made a lot of cool stuff, man. They really did. Matchless, another very underrated brand. Very underrated. MK3 for the dirt. Probably pretty heavy for the dirt. New Hudson. Elvoy, never heard of this one. Never heard of it. Heard plenty of New Hudsons. New Imperials. New Imperials, New Imperial. There was Imperial, and then there was New Imperial. Wonder if they were connected. NLG, Peugeot, 1907. OEC Atlanta. Pretty bike, 1928. It's the errors I kind of like. Okay, this is the one that these bikes were called OK Supreme, but no one called them that. They called them lighthouse bikes because of that. Some of them had a tube with a glass lens on the top. It looked like a lighthouse, so everyone called them lighthouse. Beautiful Panther, man. Panther had the greatest engine angle of any bike ever made. Raleigh, 1930. Another one, 31. Rickman Matisse. Used to be big money too, but they're dropping too, man. All the Rickmans, I don't know why, they're really going down. Especially like the Zundaps and stuff. You can buy them for $2,000. 500 Marsh 4 race bike. Homemade 4. It's a cool bike. I've seen it in some magazines. People who do this kind of homemade work are just masterminds, man. They're like lifetime achievements. Because I wouldn't even think about it. I really wouldn't. Completely making your own engine. It'd be a lot of work, man. Italian multi-cylinder machines began to dominate Grand Prix racing in the 50s. Fred Marsh decided something should and could be done. He was mad the Italians were winning and wanted to get the British back in there. Camshaft drive is a chain, the primary drive to a Norton close ratio 4-speed gearbox. So he used the Norton gearbox, but he made the engine. It says valve angle being suited to the 125cc MV Agusta cam forms. So he used bits and pieces, but he made the engine. And that's a lifetime achievement, man. That's pretty good looking. Trials bike, Royal Enfield. I wouldn't think it'd be a very good trials bike, though. It's heavy. In today's trials world, they would get on that and not be able to do anything. What's this thing? GRS 125 Special. Never seen it. I don't mind it, but I've never seen it. Look, it has twin frames coming off the front fork, the front tube going down into the tank. Pretty crazy design. Pretty bike. Little V-twin. What is it? 700? No, it's a no, that can't be right. 250 V-twin? Wow. That is gotta be the smallest V-twin ever made. 250. Oh, this place just keeps going. But we are in the last room. I promise this is the last room. CTS. Never heard of it. 250. It's good looking. Another Scott TT Racer. 68 Sprite 250. Miller's engine. 1912 Triumph. Villasette. Villassette's underrated too, man. In the United States, because we don't know British bikes. We don't know bikes at all. Okay, let's get into some of these race bikes real quick. And I gotta go. Saxton Triumph. 71 750, 71 750. I'm sure they all Paul Smart, Piercy Tate, winner of 24-hour race. Piercy Tate too. This one's missing. Looks like these are just stock Triumphs. All right, guys. I appreciate you watching, man, and I got a lot more stuff coming, man. This is just the UK. All the next couple weeks I'm in Italy, so I appreciate you watching. And check out my Facebook page under the same name as this page. I post a lot more on Facebook because it's just easier for me to post and shoot. YouTube has a bunch of things, hoops you got to jump through. And I only can post YouTube at home, so it becomes a problem. All right, guys, have a great one, man.